There's a gentleman who is actually the member of County Assembly for the late Mesha Kali. He has not been recognized and is here. And then, of course, Jennifer Mwande. You are the people who are going to be hosting us on Thursday. So, tutayarishe huko Kalawa. Mine will be brief, actually. To the family, my condolences. Your brother did something very unusual. He called me, texted me actually, the week Dad was in hospital. And 2 days to his demise, I went to see him. So I spent time with your dad and Alex. Although he was frail, he managed to have his usual smile. And in his usual jokes, when Alex told him that I have enemies, he promised to deal with those enemies when he leaves hospital. And we actually took a picture. I don't know what inspired your brother to take a selfie with your late dad, which we did. That was Wednesday. I'm saying this because I've been unable to come home. Friday, your brother, on my way to Machakos, because we had lost a county executive member Saturday morning at home in Makendo, at about 1 o'clock, your brother then sends Munyao to tell me. He didn't want to tell him himself. So he sent Munyao to, and Munyao didn't even tell me, Munyao just sent me a message. So even the condolence message that I had to issue was issued while I was on the road. I issued instructions while I was on my way to Machakos. And it is a great loss to all of us. I am indeed very surprised to you members that a gentleman who has contributed so much to this country would not get the sort of recognition I hoped he would get. To that extent, I'm a little disappointed. By a strange coincidence, because your brother has mentioned you have a political something, 13 years ago I sat where you are sitting, in this church. And the person who was speaking is none other than Mutava Musiemi. And like what you have been told, not to wear shoes, I was told to wear those shoes. Something unique I want to tell you, Alex, if you decide to join politics. Of course, I've advised you against it. In 2007, your late father competed with my father. And you were in the tallying center with me. You left at midnight when you realized he imeenda. Kivasu left earlier. He left at 9, the current MP. Although your father was a competitor of my late father, that did not amount to enmity. And that is the reason your father sat in my campaign strategy meetings, approved my manifesto. So other than the mentorship you have mentioned in the eulogy, your father sat in meetings to approve my manifesto, even in his old age. So the gentleman you have seen here called Kisoi, if you decide to compete, he's one of your competitors, this one, who was seated here. When you compete for the seat, please remember what your legacy of your dad. When he lost to my father, they were friends. And that's how you and I are friends. And we share, and I told you share something very unique. The name Mutete, which is my mom, and my daughter called Tete. So we are family. So on behalf of my wife Anita, who wanted to be here and could not because of other engagements, school arrangements for my son. I want to say Paul to all of you for losing this gentleman. I'm not surprised when you say he used to eat chapati with a fork, because I was just wondering if it was these Gen Zs who are to ask, and a knife, you would say that your dad went to a group of schools. So I've been trying to read in the eulogy his mannerisms, because he was such a gentleman that we have not produced gentlemen like him. The sort of legacy I've seen, the members like my former Deputy Speaker, Kembi Gitura, and all the people you have seen here, including Mutava Musemi, confirms just one thing about your dad. Your dad was not a Kamba politician. He was a nationalist. And that's something to emulate, so that when we speak, then we can talk about the country. I am extremely concerned as a politician. I can't distance myself from this. And from the last election, if politicians don't tame their tongues, violence in politics will become the usual business, which is a very bad thing. So as we bury this man, I want to speak boldly and say we cannot allow violence in politics, because your father was not violent. He never insulted anybody. I don't remember hearing it. And I hope whoever it is who thinks or feels they can inherit his political life will emulate the things that he did. Whether it is you guys at the front or the grandchildren at the back, I think there's a lot to emulate from him. I worked closely with him, with the retired Bishop Kanuku, Ambassador Kisilo, seated at the back, Professor Baemuka, Professor Kiamba. All those people sat in meetings to analyze very critical documents. And we sympathize with you, because this is just too soon after passing of Mom. So when I spoke to your brother, when he finally got the energy to call me, after sending Mudeu, he simply said, Dad just wanted to be with Mom. That was the conclusion. And I believe he's in a better place. And may his soul rest in peace. Amen. Thank you.